Welcome to Figure Skating Land. Oh, this is Jillian, and I have a guest today.
Hi, my name's Kim.
And
Thanks
she's
for having me.
excited to talk about World Team Trophy. And I'm excited to have you on here. Usually it's just me talking to myself, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
I have tons to say. I'm excited
We're-
too.
that is good. That is good. And so we're talking about the women first.
What an event.
Yes.
I always expect, I'm never sure, like, is World Team Trophy where there's no stress and everybody's just skating joyfully, or are they exhausted?
I
And
feel like it varies, honestly. Like some years they seem like they're just so joyful to be there and they're just chill. And then this year in particular, felt like everyone was so exhausted. And I was trying to
yeah,
figure out like what made this different than other years. And then I went back, I was trying to remember how it was in 2023. Like, yeah, there was always like mistakes in programs, but this kind of felt like an overarching theme. I
hmm
don't know kind of what your take was. Did people seem tired or just chill? Like, what did you think?
yeah, I thought they seemed tired. But like some people, like Gubanova, had such a better outing here
Yes.
than they did at Worlds. So I think it's really nice to have like one last competition if
Yes.
there's still something you have to get out on the ice. But yeah,
Yes.
people seem tired. I think what I like about it is I understand that it's an opportunity for the skaters to make money,
Tons of money,
which,
apparently.
yeah, well, that's important. I mean,
Yes.
I just don't know how it's such an investment and so underfunded that, if they can get a check, I'm here for it.
Same. I know some people were like, oh, is this just playing for them to show up to get a check? But like, good. Like,
Yes.
let them have
Yes.
this check. I can't imagine
Yes.
how much they spend like to travel and all of that and the skates and the coaching. So yes, let's give them as many opportunities as possible.
Yep. Yep. And like, they have to pay for, getting Olympic programs choreographed next year. So,
Right. And
so
I
much
was
money.
reading like some of the bigger choreographer, like it can be so expensive. So yes, just like let's have them do World Team Trophy so that they
Yeah.
can get it paid for.
Did you hear on the run through that Adam was talking about actually getting a program from Lori Nickel just to learn? And he and Ashley were thinking they should get some programs choreographed because they'd love to just learn and skate something again.
Yes, yes. That was very telling. And I remember they will also sometimes suggest that other skaters should just get programs done by Lori Nickel. And actually, I think Lori Nickel is going to do, was it Deanna and Max's? I know that they just announced that somebody's going to do their program next year.
Really?
Yeah, I'd have to double check on that, but that because usually they have the same person doing it, so that'd be interesting for them to have a different one like the Olympic year.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, okay. So you said you wanted to start with
Yeah, we can
women,
start with the
right?
women's. We can start with that.
Awesome. Um, can I just say, I don't think I need to see any more Firebirds. Um, Gracie Gold did it, and she laid it down. And I thought Sarah Everhart's last year was nice, but
Yeah,
and this was nice too, the Italian women's. But I'm just not that into Firebird. Like the music isn't so good that I need to see it 20 times.
I feel like Gracie did such a like intense good job with it, and it's hard for others to come in. Like I know that Sarah Everhart worked with Gracie for her program.
Oh,
Yeah, like I think Gracie Gold helped her kind of get into like did parts of it and helped her kind of encompass it.
really?
But I think maybe like the musicality piece of her, like with the emoting, that's something that she could work on because Gracie really encompasses like intense Firebird, and I haven't seen anybody else able to do that. In
Yeah.
fact, it also took me a bit to realize that God, what is the Italian woman's name again? Sorry, I'm trying to remember her name.
Anna Pasetta?
Yes, sorry. It's also my
Or
season.
yeah,
And it took me actually a minute to realize, oh, she is doing like the Firebird. I
yeah,
feel like could have been more intense, and I get she's probably tired, but it just didn't encompass what
yeah.
we saw of Gracie. And I think there's certain programs out there it's hard for others to redo because it's just not the same, and people will compare.
Exactly. It's like doing Moulin Rouge in ice dance. Like, don't do
Yes.
it.
And everyone's like, ooh, that's not the same.
Yeah. The other Italian woman, though, Laura Naki Gutman, I love the Squid Game program.
I adore the Squid Game program. It is so unique. I love that she always does a really unique program and it makes her really stand out. And she
Yeah.
did amazing throughout this. And I felt like it was a little good thing from like a redemption from Worlds because she had that fall at Worlds for this
Yeah.
program. And here she did it beautifully. And it was so great to see her happy. It was great to see her coach excited. I just love it. I love when someone does a quirky or unique program.
Yeah. Same. Sorry, my eyes keep going down because I have such a mess of notes everywhere.
I'm glad you took, like, I had taken notes and I'm like, oh, it was on my computer. Now I can't pull it up.
I know. And who has a printer anymore, right?
Right, right. And I also found it really exciting for her free program because she did that beautifully as well. And it's interesting because she can be so versatile. Like she can do something that's really unique, then she can do something that is just beautiful. But also, like she's kind of the one that helped them get the bronze here, and so that
Yeah.
really helps her going into the Olympic year. I feel like because I know there's only one spot for Italy, so this may help determine like maybe she'll get to go to the Olympics and do the team event as well.
Yeah. Probably, right? It
Yeah.
looks like she probably would. How about Meline Skizes?
It's interesting. So I know that she did fairly well. I know for her free program, if I remember right, she did like an axle or something. And I feel for her because at Worlds she did really, really well, but her scores, weren't the greatest. And here, I feel like she laid it down pretty well, but not as strong in her free program.
Yeah. I like the Lion King more.
So much. She does, I feel like she does powerful programs really, really well. Like that
Yeah.
is her strength, I feel like the pretty ones, yes, she does fine, but I feel like she gets all into it.
Yes. Yeah. And that, I mean, at this event, it seemed in general, but certainly people like Maddie, like you could see them really enjoying their choreo.
That's what, like, especially during the Lion King, that's what I
Yeah.
really noticed. Like she let it more free than I've ever really seen her. And that's
Yeah.
where I really enjoy this program. Like, especially when they get to that step sequence. And she did
Yeah.
like it was just so powerful. Like she was just ready to hold like a lion over her head or something.
Yeah. And she's, I mean, and that's a really pretty costume. And her makeup was right. I loved
Is
it.
yes, yes.
And she was smiling. Like she doesn't
That
always smile. So that was nice.
that's what really stood out to me because at Worlds she was just seemed like happy with her performance and instead about the scores. Here she was just happy and smiling the whole time, and that
Yeah.
really made me just happy because we don't see that a lot. Like a lot of times you see her reacting to her scores, and it can be heartbreaking. But here she was just smiling from like the get go.
Yep. Monet Chiba.
Oh, yeah. So her short program, she made, I'm trying to remember the mistake she made. It was uncharacteristic of her.
Oh, it was her axle.
Yes, because I remember being like, what? Her axle's never a problem.
Yes. And
It's
she has that gorgeous exit, where she's on that
yes.
edge, which she got up and put herself right into that. I was very impressed
I
by
thought that was
that.
really cool because she just still did it. And I'm like, that's your signature move. You did it. Go you.
Yep.
We love that move.
Yep.
I was like blown away that for one, she made that mistake, but two, that she got up and like fixed it.
Yeah. Gorgeous. I love that program so much. Watching the evolution of that little shimmy, which it's
Yes.
getting better. It brings me joy.
And like, even though she made that mistake, she still put on such a great performance with that little shimmy. And it still reminded me of like Worlds when she brought down the house with the program. Like
Yep.
she was still putting it all in.
Yeah. I've heard, and I don't have specifics, but her coach has a reputation for being very strict and putting a lot of pressure. But then, before she goes out on the ice, you see them like touching foreheads. She looks so sweet. I'm like, it's her? Really?
It is shocking to know that, and I've heard a lot. You'll see her with the skaters in the beginning, and she presents as she's like so sweet. And then, like, even in the kiss and cry, you're like, okay, that seems so sweet. Like, if there's been so much that's been said about her of being abusive to the point where it's like, okay, there's all these people saying it. Like, it's almost worse because at least with other coaches, like a Terry, what you see seems to be what you get. But with her, seems to be pretty masked in public, which is really worrisome.
Yeah. She's the kind of pinches you under the table or something, Yeah.
I didn't know for a while until I heard more about her reputation over time. And that's when I'm like, oh my gosh, this is that woman that's always like holding their hands.
Yeah.
And she won Coach of the Year once. And that's when I started hearing a lot of things. Like I'd heard things beforehand, but then Coach of the Year comes around and everyone's like, what? How did this woman get it? And that's when I just kind of went down this rabbit hole of like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. The ISU awards are always interesting.
That last one, it was so funny because you could just kind of tell that they just want to get done to the point where they take your pictures and go.
Yeah.
The technology was so bizarre.
Yes.
Everything.
Even the ISU website is just, oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. My dog tried to break in earlier.
Where's mute? I literally can't find my mute button.
No, mine's already. It's okay, Baxter Bear.
Unbelievable. That may happen a few times.
You're fine. That's fine. It's animals. If someone doesn't like animals, they don't want to see our stuff anyway because we love animals.
There we go. I like that attitude.
But yeah, the ISU's website. So it's interesting because when I was trying to pull up the scores for this, because it's one of those things where I know it's like end of the season and I need to have the stuff in front of me. It's almost like you can't even look on the ISU's website. You have to Google ISU results why is this not so easy to find? Like, why do I have to go on like this whole entire journey to get the scores?
Yeah, I agree. It's annoying. And also actually for this event, it was easy to get the scores for like women's short program, women's long program, but then like who won women overall? Like I never saw a list of those ordinals. Did you?
I know what they do is so for this event in particular, they don't put them together. So they consider like short program and free program because that was tripping me out at first too. And I think some people like unofficially will make a list of who would win overall. But yeah, they do it differently for this. I think it's because so many points go to the short program and then the free program. So they just consider them almost separate.
Got it.
It's so interesting to me because you're not used to that.
Yeah. Okay. So we talked about Monet. Cowrie?
Oh my gosh. So she seemed winded as well. I mean, she did wonderful. But I thought, after Worlds and she made that mistake in the combination, I thought she's going to come back strong. But she wasn't as strong as usual, but she still sold on the performance aspect like everyone else, I feel like.
Totally. I mean, she should be present at every competition. She's just like the consummate competitor. I love watching her skate. I love, the strength and power.
Yes.
Yeah. And I love Chicago. So I'm never going to get mad at all that jazz.
In fact, I feel like even though she seemed exhausted, I feel like she really won me over even more because like she still did everything with that program. And that's a very like demanding program. And she still was able to pull all the little intricacies and transitions off when like a lot of the other skaters couldn't pull everything off at all.
Yeah. I don't know how she does it. And that is a beautiful program. I don't remember. I don't want to put you on the spot. Do you know who choreographed that?
Was it Marie France? I know Marie France did one of her programs. I'd have to look that up.
It probably was. It
But
probably was.
Benoit did her ones in the past, but I don't think he did any this year. But
Yeah.
I felt like it was a really good program because it was something different. And I love that she does something different and
Yep.
pushes herself. And that was such a physically demanding program.
Yeah.
And I think she came in third in the free program, if I remember. I'll pull it up.
Here, while you do that, I'm going to go stop my dog from this.
Yes, she came in third. And of course, my internet's like, nope, you're only gonna like slightly open. I'll just blame ISU's website. Yeah, she came in third. I was trying to see like what all mistakes she made. So it wasn't too bad. She got like the a Q, so a couple Qs. And I think if you take that into account, like Amber's triple axel and then Alyssa's skate, and also with like the world champion bonus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not that Alyssa didn't do amazing, but like always kind of factoring all those other things in, then that's probably what got her into third.
I don't, if you had told me last year that like US women would be, the ones to beat, I would not have believed you.
I would have never, because they just have for a long, long time, even when Russia was taken out of the equation, they were not in the equation. And then if you would have also told me that Amber would have been the person to beat, I wouldn't have believed. Not that, I never thought she was capable. It's just, in the past, she's really had to work on her stamina throughout programs and being able to get through the second half. And then such a force to be reckoned with. And Alyssa Blue, I mean, just all this, like thinking about the Olympics, it's amazing because usually NBC does not have a lot of like material for US women to kind of push and be like, hey, these people could win or these people could podium.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is huge.
Yeah. I love Alyssa's story so much and her dad. I love it. I'm so excited. And it's been just a joy to see this for Amber. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And Alyssa's dad, I watched footage of Worlds afterwards and seeing his reaction to her win. It was like the most, that warmed so much.
Yeah. Yeah. He was like yelling, like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Or like, whoa, 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 or something. Yeah.
And it's so interesting. Like with Amber, she really did seem so physically exhausted during the short program, but she came back for the free skate and was just boom.
Oh my God, that was intense. I was thrilled with her because usually the free skate, like I'm usually pumped for Amber's short program,
Yes, yes.
always dynamic, cool music. And
Mm-hmm.
then the free, it's always like some emo, purple
Yeah.
dress. But yeah, she was so good. I was thrilled for her.
Yes, like so for the short program, when she kind of fell in the triple axel, she still forced her way through the program and still put on a performance, but you could tell she was beating herself up. But
Yeah.
she just looked physically exhausted. But when she did that free skate and she landed that triple axel, I'm like, here we go.
Yep, yep. You could see just in the way she was moving her arms and
Yes.
looking up, she was like, yes.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
she always ends her programs like, when they do the spin, I don't know the move, like where your legs go, it's like a butterfly,
Talking about, yeah.
Yeah. Hers always look exhausted. Like, some people they get really high and their legs are straight. Hers is always like,
It's like it's
uh,
done.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now that you mention it, yes. Yeah. And one thing she does do, and it's something for her to work on, like she always, you can tell how she thinks she did with her program at
Yes.
the end. And it's almost like, some people, if they mess up, they're just like, at the end. This gives the judges like more to look back on, like, okay, like this is
Yeah.
what she did. And I
Yeah.
understand, like, I'm the same way. Like, if I mess up a presentation or anything, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
but I get it. But that might be something, hopefully, that they'll work on next. Not that she has a whole lot to work on at this point, but just like
Yeah.
ending and just being like, okay, it's great.
Yeah. Yeah, like ice dancers do. You know, when they
Yes.
finish, you can't tell them that they weren't the most beautiful people on the ice.
I know. And sometimes I can be surprised when we get their scores. I'm like, oh yeah, they did do that. Like they will sometimes like persist through. But
Yeah.
and like for free program, she does tend to pick like this emo music.
Mhm.
Like this one did start to grow on me after a while. I think the better she skates the program, the more it grew because like it starts to have like the suspense to it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they've picked out the emo music to help her not get kind of too winded with because she is such a fast skater. And I'm just wondering if all of a program's jam packed fast, if that can get her kind of out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, we saw it with Chicago and Donna Summer, for
Yes.
a free program. That is a marathon.
Yes. And Alyssa, I was sitting there thinking, I was like, she's got to be exhausted at this point. And for her to just push on through, no
I
mistake.
love that program so much.
I do too. And I love when she gets to the part where she's like dancing, like, oh,
Yep. Yep.
I
And her
love
little
and her
ponytail
oh
and
my gosh, she's like that. Yes. And her short program is one of my favorite. I absolutely adore that program.
that is the program of the season. I mean,
Yes.
the lyrics, the message, her
Oh,
connection. And I love that like sort of bandagey dress that she wears.
yes, yes.
Yeah,
I keep thinking like I want that dress. Like
me too.
I adore it. And I just love like the way when she like twizzles in it, there's like beauty, everything's beautiful. Like with the
So
dress,
good.
she connects to the music. I know that
Even
like
the opening moves, like a lot of times when
yes,
skaters are standing in place and doing a lot with their arms, it looks kind of weird.
you're fine.
Sorry, I
You're
didn't realize somebody was coming home.
no, I get what you're saying is a lot of times when they start, it can either look frantic if they're moving their arms a lot, but this
Yeah.
just was right with the music,
Yep.
right with the music.
Yep. And so graceful.
Yes. Ah, and then the dress will like spin with it. And she did it beautifully here. Like she is so amazing because she has nerves of steel. Like she just won worlds. And a lot of times people think like, oh my gosh, I won worlds. People are going to be expecting XYZ from me. She went right in, just calm and just did it. And same with her free program going last and
Yeah.
did it.
Unbelievable. And I saw on Reddit people were saying that she's always been this consistent, like this solid, which I didn't really know that. I mean, I guess maybe when she was doing quads, there were some falls, but
Yeah.
nerves of steel. And I early in the season, people kept talking about under rotations, et cetera. So I was really paying attention to the replays, and her jumps look clean to me.
I know when, because I've read that a lot too. And I know she got called on that in the beginning. But once they were doing the replays, I was watching, I was counting, I was like, one, two, three. And I didn't see it.
Yeah.
In fact, she has a triple axel again. And so I am wondering if she's going to make that appearance for the Olympic season.
That's crazy. I mean, I've heard that like you should have, you should be landing an element, I don't know, 90% of the time before you put it
Yes,
in competition. But I mean, she'd be unbeatable if she had
she
that
would.
probably.
Because I feel like she's someone, I feel like she needs to be in a team event for the Olympics because she's someone that has such consistency and nerves of steel. She's somebody you would want in that team event.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I mean, she did this fine right after Worlds.
Oh my God. I could never, that kind of pressure, like having the whole team counting on you. Ooh.
And they're all watching. And of course, it seems like they're all cheering regardless. But I know myself, I'd be like, oh my gosh, well, there
Yeah.
goes this medal for people.
Yeah. That's Pyeongchang watching Nathan was like just that I can't even watch those videos. And that was 4 years later.
Yeah.
But yeah, super happy for Alyssa. I'm so glad she's back. And yeah, it's gonna make the Olympics. I'm not super, like you said, figure skating isn't super patriotic, right?
Yeah.
Half the time I'm rooting for Japan or whatever, but
Yes. Yes.
at the Olympics, it's gonna be really fun to have Amber, Alyssa, Ilia, Maddie, and Evan. Like our
Yeah.
team is crazy.
And I think it's gonna because like I try so hard to get people at least into it during the Olympics because that is something like a lot of times people watch the Olympics, and I think it's gonna be easier for like guys. There could be Americans that might
Right,
win. I think that's
right.
gonna be easier to get the public watching, and
Sure.
hopefully that will like stick past
Yeah.
the
Yeah, we'll
Olympics.
see. I don't know. The US figure skating seems to want Ilia to be kind of like the poster boy
Yes.
for skating. So that'll be interesting. At the ISU Awards, I didn't watch the whole thing, but I did see him get an award. And literally the first thing he said was, I'd like to thank myself. I was like, this kid, he cracks me up.
He's so funny. So I have met him a couple times, and it's interesting because his persona on ice or even in interviews on TV is so different. He's kind of more quiet, reserved, a little almost shy.
Really?
Yes, it's very interesting. Of course, I mean, it could be a meet and greet. It's after skating, some kind of ice show. He could be tired. But yeah, he seems a little bit more reserved. And
Oh,
yeah, it's very fascinating. And there's like some things if you watch him like ice shows or live, you can see he's actually a really good person. Like you'll see him
cool.
cheering on his teammates. At one of the practices at US Nationals, he was giving Jacob Sanchez some tips on how to be landing certain jumps. So he doesn't seem like overly
Hmm.
competitive. It's just really interesting. So a lot of times people are like, he's cocky, he's this, he's that. But like every time I've observed him away from certain events, like he just seems genuinely nice.
That's so good to hear. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I only see the public persona, so I'm always kind of laughing at the cockiness, but yeah, I mean, I believe it. That's amazing. He could be a wonderful mentor to
Yeah.
US men.
And he apparently was also, I think he was giving tips to Monashiba, actually. I think he was helping her because she wants to do
I heard that.
quads.
Yeah.
And I think she's landed some quads recently. I don't remember if she's done them this season. I know there's been so many quads that like have made appearances.
Yeah. I haven't seen that, but I did hear she was working on it. That's crazy.
It is
That's just
wild.
wild.
And I wonder with like Russia coming back, how many people unfortunately are going to try to do as many different ultra C elements, which is good if they can, but I just worry about injuries.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it just seems to really shorten the careers,
Yeah.
like you can only do so much to your body before it
Right.
says no
Right.
more.
And oh yeah, Anastasia. Always one day I was saying Anastasia, and someone in the comments was like, it's on a stage, it's Anastasia, right? Goodbye.
Sure. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
We were talking like before we started this about how she did so amazing and had her come back here.
Yeah. Yeah. Good for her. She's so pretty too.
Yes, and that call, I love her free program costume. Oh,
Wait, remind me what it looks like.
it looks like so one of the Van Gogh paintings, like the Starry Night.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because I think her program, if I remember right, it's one of those that has a quirky theme. Like I think she's been projected in the space, or am I getting her mixed up with Lucas? Like
Is
one of the
that
space
the
people.
okay. Okay.
But I was so happy
Now I
for
get it.
her because I saw her at Worlds and it was heartbreaking. And so for her to come back into the season, put on those two programs, lay it on down, even though Georgia was, dead last, probably not
Yeah.
gonna get a medal, she still pushed through.
Yeah. Yeah. No, she's strong. I Georgia was not on my bingo card either.
It
Um,
wasn't. And it's interesting, I think, like for the Olympic team, because I think what brought him down was just a couple people coming out of retirement to skate here, and they did great for people who have not been skating. And especially the Georgia woman, like she was a blast to watch. But I think like if you take them out, I'm wondering how they're going to score at the Olympics, like for the Olympic
Yeah.
team event against everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. That pair is just, I mean,
Oh my gosh.
their rise has been meteoric.
Yes. And just in person, they're so speedy. The throws are huge. I think they're going to be like an Olympic individual medal contender.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Did we cover all the women?
I feel like we did. I always
So.
forget there's less in this event.
Yeah. I know the rhythm dance was like only an hour long. I was like,
That
what's
surprised me.
happening?
I was like, wait, what? And when I was like playing catch up, and I think that's why like some of it's erased from my brain because I would get home from work, quickly play catch up and go, this is going to take hours.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, no, it's not taking hours. I don't need to fast forward through all the like lulls in it.
Yep. Should we do the men?
Yeah, we can do men. Let me pull up their stuff.
You know what? I wish Andrew Torgashev was here. I wanted to see his short program
I
one last time.
love that program.
So good.
And
Somebody else used that music.
Yes,
Here.
Mika from Georgia.
Georgia.
He does okay
Yeah.
with it. It's just hard when you just see Andrews. Such
Yeah.
a difference. Like Andrew has so many intricate like turns and like just it's so detailed, and in comparison, it just falls flat.
Yeah. Andrew had that moment at one of the competitions where it was going really well. Do you remember? And he like skated up to the judges and did like a little nod. I was like, yes.
He has such a good
Loved it.
personality, it seems like.
Yeah.
I'm hoping he'll bounce back from whatever happened at Worlds
Yeah.
and pull through because he seems so consistent up until this, and I really did miss him at this event. Like I felt like this would have been an event he could have just like let loose.
Yep. Yep. Jimmy Ma too probably would have been.
Oh, Jimmy Mall. I can't help but love it because I heard an interview with him once. I'm like, this guy's a bro. He's fun.
Is he? I believe it. I believe it. He's adorable.
Yes.
And he was so like touching at Worlds. It was very emotional.
Yeah, it's rough. And then when at Legacy on Ice, it was very, very touching. And whenever Max was out there skating, and then Aisha and Alicia and Misha like come out to just like help him.
Yeah. Oh, Max's program where he like takes their hands. It was like, and then honestly, what I go back and rewatch all the time is the part with Yevon Mock and Ashley and Gracie, where they do like the whole edges class. It's so beautiful. I was like, do I like Beyonce now? It was so beautiful.
Amazing skating too. Like I was blown away, and it's just so touching. Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
So here we are in men. A year that Daniel Grossel coming up and being a consistent podium threat was not on my card.
That was not on my bucket list either. Not on my bucket list at all.
No.
And I don't know. I feel for him because, I don't know why he made the decision to go to a Terry and then become missing for a bit because of drug tests. But it's also kind of difficult to root for him because of that. Like the drug test.
I mean, I cut a lot of these skaters slack because, they're so young and in such an intense sport. Like you don't even know how much agency they have, like who's pulling the strings and making decisions.
That is true.
And the stuff I did before I was 30, very, very bad decision making. But I just don't love his skating.
I don't either. And especially, I feel like the free program, just seeing it in person and seeing it this again, it really just doesn't hit like for an audience. It's just the voiceovers. And then I get he's trying to be like a skater or a boy that's learning how to do like ballet. It just, he's not very balletic.
No, you're hearing point your toe. And he's
point your toe. Point it. His spins are interesting, but Yeah, like his skating just doesn't do a lot for me. Like even if you take out the behaviors, it just doesn't do a lot.
Yeah, his arms are kind of wild. I have a note. I don't remember what it was, but I said his final spin looked crazy in the short program, like holding
Yes.
his head or something.
Yes. And it's interesting to be flexible like that. I think if you were just like balanced a little better. But yeah, he's not very artistic. And I feel like for him, I'm wondering of like almost more powerful programs. Because he
Yeah,
tries to do a lot of artistic programs when there's not a whole lot of like soft lines and
right.
pointing for him.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay, who should we talk about?
Here. So Morrissey came back.
Oh, yes, he did. I wasn't super familiar with him. Like I feel like I've seen there's some, jump that he's famous for, like is it the
He's,
salto or the
yes, every jump is basically a toe jump.
So does that just basically mean that he's like picking on edge jumps or something?
Yeah, like it's almost like every single jump he's doing is just like what picking on edge jumps, like almost all. In fact, when I watch him skate, I have no idea sometimes what jump he's doing.
That's
It's
funny.
interesting. And I know that he does not like competitive skating. He says he much prefers the shows. And so he seems more like a show skater. And so he came
Mhm.
to this basically so Georgia could be able to do this event, and which is cool, but you could tell there were some stamina issues pretty quick. I
Yeah,
do like that he switched to doing more just triples instead of trying to force himself to do quads. I feel like that was a good strategy.
I appreciate that, honestly.
Yeah. Instead of just like manning all over the place during that.
Yes. Yes.
And it was fascinating. It's fascinating to watch a Terry with him. Like she seems more gentle with him. And I don't know if it's because he came out of retirement and she didn't have a whole lot of expectations. But even if I remember right, in the past, she seemed to be kind of different with him. He
Interesting.
does seem to have, just based upon interviews that have been translated and how other skaters talk about, he seems to have like this funny personality, almost like a jokester. So I'm just wondering if like he's one of those people that can get by.
He charmed her a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. No, she's terrifying, honestly. I
And
would be getting off the ice like, I'm so sorry,
I
Terry.
know, I feel like I would skate go, I'm sorry, please don't murder me.
Yeah. I saw after it must have been Nika Gatse, after like not a great free program in the kiss and cry, Gleb like leaned forward and like patted him on the shoulder.
Yes,
I was
yes.
like, he knows.
He knows what's coming. And how do I think he skated at port, like compared to everyone, like the men's event, this whole thing, I was like, what's going on with you people? Like they were,
Except Jason. You can always count on Jason.
I know. And even when Jason popped the jump, he still did artistically. Like he
He
still
sure did.
did it pretty. Like everyone else just like splattered all
Yeah.
over the place.
Yeah. Jason, he is so incredible. I don't know why we ever doubt him. We shouldn't.
Right.
Those split jumps are like ridiculous. I was at a show. I saw him at a show once, and he did one like right in front of me, and I was
Oh,
like,
good.
"Ah."
It's just so magical. Like his knee bit, everything's soft and edge quality.
His back. I cannot arch my back the way like his standing position.
Yes. Yes. It's fascinating because that's one thing. Like whenever we went to Stars on Ice, my husband and I did once, and Jason came out in like a white outfit, and I think he had sunglasses on at first, so you didn't know exactly who he was. And then my husband's like, "That's Jason," because I recognize his posture because he has just such really good posture.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, his chest is always out, his back is sort of arched. Yeah, he's beautiful to
And
watch.
I love this for him because there were so many people like, why are we sending him to Worlds? But we sent him to Worlds
Mhm.
and he did great. And then he went the World Team Trophy and did amazing. Like got us the gold medal. I mean, he came in second, and if he wouldn't have popped the jump, he would have gotten like first in the free program.
That's insane. That's
Right?
crazy.
With
Yeah.
no quads. I think his strategy of not doing quads has helped him. Like he used to attempt them and just
Mhm.
sometimes land them, sometimes fall. I think he just has this better strategy, like let the other people kind of splatter, and then his PCS and all that will like rise to what he needs.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, sometimes I'm like, his PCS could be higher. Don't know what's going on there a lot.
They gave Ilia a higher PCS than Jason. And that's just, like you don't need to reward Ilia that way. You know what I mean? Like he's going to win. Don't worry.
His technical content will get him the points. We
Yeah.
don't need to worry about the PC. Like we don't. I know they're probably like, let's give him outrageous scores. Everyone's like, oh my God, yay.
Yeah.
They're like,
he has improved though. I mean,
so much.
I like a year ago, I found him almost unwatchable. I was like, it's like a frog in a blender. His legs are everywhere. That raspberry twist is so unattractive.
Yeah.
But he has come a long way, and he's into it.
Especially that running program. Like you can tell he loves that program, and that he has worked on the skating skills for that.
Mm-hmm.
Frog in a blender. I never thought about that.
Oh man. So how about Roman?
Roman, here I was pleased with him. Yeah, he made some mistakes, but everybody else did at the end of the season. I feel like he has come a long way to like, if he does make mistakes, there's no longer like a meltdown. I feel like he handled this pretty well, and he was still skating beautifully.
Watching him made me realize how bad some of the other spinners are.
Yes.
His spins are gorgeous.
His spins are gorgeous. What I like that he like a lot of spinners, their spins will be so slow.
Yes.
And I'm just like, speed it up.
Yes.
He does not have that slow spin. Like
no.
It doesn't make, and I'm always surprised. Like sometimes he will lose levels on spins, but not this time around. But it's just night and day in comparison. Like especially the men. I don't know what it is about the men, but their spins are quite slow. And I don't know if they're trying to have a breather. I remember I think it was a run through where Adam Rapon was talking about how the spins used to be a time where you could kind of catch your breath a bit, but now leveled spins, it's not like that anymore.
There are so many ugly spin positions. It's like the levels are like, why are you forcing them?
Jump. Why? What's this little hop that people do?
Oh yeah. Yeah. The heel thing. And
yes. Yeah, but I think Roman did, I mean, compared to everyone else, Roman did well here. I had read somewhere someone was talking about how like he did poorly and then went into the kiss and cry and acted like he didn't. But I mean, I think compared to everyone else, he did fine. And people went to the kiss and cry and kind of let loose because it's just a fun event and everyone else is tired too.
Yeah. And I mean, there's going to be a team spirit award, right? You can't go in there and pout.
I wonder who won. I missed it. Do we know who won?
I didn't even know it happened yet. I haven't watched the gala either.
I didn't get to the gala. I was like, I gotta get caught up on the other things.
Is Nika Gazzi Deadpool? Is he the one who does that?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
We'll have that to look forward to because
we'll
we don't get Kung Fu Panda. Who else? We talked about. Do you want to talk about Nikolaj Momola?
Yeah, this wasn't the best, outing for him. It wasn't terrible. It just, I think I'm just used to seeing him being like more consistent, and I think kind of like his reaction kind of he wears his heart on his sleeve. Like you can tell he wasn't as happy with his skate. I don't know what was going on. Maybe exhaustion for him. He's still a beautiful skater though.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
I enjoyed his long program more, and I remember really liking his emphatic arms. Like anytime skaters do this during their crossovers, like I'm bought in. I'm like, yes.
Yes, because it gets you even just like away from looking from the crossovers. You're like, they're going like that. You're like,
yep. And he did that a few times, and looked at the crowd, like, with those piercing blue eyes. And I was like, oh, he's performing.
Yes. Yeah. And I think that helped him because he seemed a little bit out of steam, but I feel like he had more steam maybe for his free program.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely like that better.
And then,
Oh yeah, it was. I just saw my note. It was right before his Heine Power. He was like,
yes, and that's so
and
effective. If someone does something like that before they're on a buyer, I'm like, yep, go on.
yep, yeah, and it was a beautiful one.
Yes.
Adam, how about Adam?
Adam. So his short program, he did fairly well. It's free
Which was a
program,
surprise.
right? Like usually it's almost feel like it's flipped. Usually he's like a short program bomb, a free program, somehow pulls it all together. The short program he did fairly well. And in
Mm-hmm.
fact, I think he was in second. Yeah, he was in second.
Mm-hmm.
And then the free program, I'm like, how is this boy gonna? I mean, he fought through it. And there was a point where I'm like, please don't do the backflip. You look like you need to fall asleep at this. And then he did a backflip and he was fine.
It was fine. But I mean, I feel like I am Adam's angry ankles. Like, stop doing that. Every time he lands a backflip and I see his ankles like go like that, I'm like, don't
Yes.
do it.
Especially with the injury, I'm like, we got to like bubble wrap your ankles and your feet
Yeah.
so you do not have another injury. Like, yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like he did fine here, especially for the short program. The free program, he at least fought through it.
He did. He did.
Bless his
He's
heart.
one of my favorite skaters. I
Yes.
love like his ownership of Benoit choreography. Um,
Yes.
that slide that he replaced his backflip with. I mean, I have to
Yes.
show my
I felt like
daughter,
that was
like,
way more
look at
effective.
this. So
I
beautiful.
I love like he can do the Benoit stuff so well. Like some people
Mm-hmm.
you could tell like they kind of gotta get you no, like he does it perfectly. Like even down to like the hand gestures,
Oh yeah.
expressions.
He's like pulling at his shirt and then he's
Yes.
typing and crumpling
Oh my
paper.
gosh. The first time I watched it, I'm like, what? And then it clicked. I'm like, I love this. This is the best program ever.
Yeah. Yeah. Even, I mean, the dune, the laying on the ice. I mean, talk about a smoke break. But it's very effective.
It
And
is. It is because you really think, okay, this man has died and came back. I mean, I
yep,
love it. Like I love a Benoit program. I'm one of those
me
people.
too. Me too. Oh, that's right. We didn't see Brady. I think of her
Oh,
when I think of Benoit too. And I'm looking
yes,
forward to
yes. I'm curious to kind of see how she does the Olympic season. It feels like there's a lot of women that we're gonna be like gunning for the positions.
that. Yeah. But back to Adam, he also has a nice creamy bandage shirt that I love.
I love that. And it just like lines up well with his pants. Like it's
Yeah.
just nice.
Yeah. He's got swag.
He does. He
Um,
does.
there was a thread on the Reddit sub last week, and I was looking for it, and it seems to have disappeared. But somebody was asking, like, who's dating whom? And I was trying to find it because they were saying Daniel Grassel is dating, I'm not sure. Uh,
Yes, he is dating another skater, and it came. When did that come about? Was that Europeans? I can't remember. Like
yeah,
soon
like the
now,
commentator said something.
which is interesting because I didn't know like this. And then I know Adam had danced with Kimmy at like World's Gala, but it feels like everyone kind of danced and let loose there.
Yeah, she looked great.
Oh my
Looked
God,
so pretty.
supermodel.
Yeah. But I think in this thread, they said Adam was dating another skater that I didn't know, but when I looked her up, she was beautiful.
I know what you're talking. I feel like I've stumbled upon this recently too, like even maybe before that thread came out. So I think he is dating another skater.
Yeah. So I digress, but yeah, Adam is beautiful, and I hope his ankles get better. I loved at the last Olympics his Star Wars gala with his lightsaber. So,
Yes. Sorry, I had to mute for a bit. My Alexa was talking to me.
oh, okay.
But yes, yes, the Star Wars gal, like I just love him as a skate. He's just so fun. Like he does beautiful programs well and fun programs well. I even liked his Gangster's Paradise. I could see why he didn't do it, but
Yeah.
every program's really just well done.
I want to see that one more time. I'm gonna have to go back and find that because
I can't remember which competition. We'll have to like VPN it.
yeah, right. Oh, they make
and
it so hard.
And then Kevin, I feel like, I feel like Kevin, yeah, he made some mistakes here. I don't feel like it was the old Kevin, though. I felt like it was the tired Kevin. I know that Kevin, I think, had mentioned that his whole team's like sick.
Yeah, held together by duct tape or something. Yeah.
Yes. I didn't feel like it was old, like I'm not gonna do any jumps, I'm just gonna pop. Like it really felt like he was still fighting. And
Totally.
yeah.
Totally. He's back in. I mean, last year it was so stressful to watch him skate. I mean, some
Yes.
of them were like, is this a bad movie? They were so bad that you just wanted to cry. And then
Yeah.
even what he would say afterwards
Oh,
about how he felt, it was like, ah.
yeah.
So it's been so good this year to see like he's got it. He can still
Yes.
crush it. Skate
Yes.
America, like hell yeah.
Something about Texas and that man, like it like cleanses him.
People in this sub were saying like, I'm gonna shout Texas.
Yes, in Boston, they were like, "How nice him!" Someone wrote that said something like, "How nice him playing shipping to Texas instead of shipping to Boston."
That's so funny.
And he was hilarious in the Kiss and Cry. Like at one point, I feel like he was dressed up like someone said schoolgirl. I feel like it was more anime, but I'm not sure.
Sailor Moon, totally.
Yes,
Yep.
yes. And it was hilarious. I just loved it. And you could tell like Chris was so done with the antics. He's like, what is going on there? It was just so funny though.
It was really cute. I know it can be goofy. Like when I used to go back and watch old ones and see, Jason Brown and just so many goofy glasses and stuff. But now that, I've watched through a whole season and seen all the work and how tired, like let
Yes.
them have fun. It's
Let them have this because usually we see them and they're either having like a disappointing performance and they kiss and cry, or the kiss and cry is still stressful because they're waiting on the scores. This is just so good to see them just let loose
yeah,
and
totally.
just have fun for once.
Yeah, for sure. So happy for Kevin. And I know people don't like his coach for whatever reason, but
Oh, yes. They do have they have like a fun dynamic. Like it seems like she's very motherly towards him.
there is definitely an emotional attachment there. Yeah.
Yes. And you can see like I feel like for her it's probably very hard to watch him skate. Like you could see very emotional for her to watch him skate.
Yeah. I mean, look, as a fan sitting on my couch, I cry. So I'm sure
Yes.
as a coach, I'd be like, "Ugh."
Same, same.
I really missed Shoma.
Oh, yes. His skating is unreal. When I watched him in Montreal, I was blown away. It's one of those things like you see on the TV,
Yeah.
then you see him in real life, and it is just
Is
a
it?
whole because he just
I never
has
saw
the
him.
smoothness and the knee bend, just everything, the speed, and like his jumps are almost quiet. It's just everything. And Yuma can come out off like that when he's not having mistakes. Like Yuma and Shuma skating, they can be a lot similar, but I feel like something's just up with Yuma. And I know, like I've been saying, like, oh, well, this is probably exhaustion with people, but him, I do worry that this event may have been also a struggle as well.
Yeah. I almost feel like Yuma needs Shoma. Like Yuma doesn't want to be the top, you know.
Yes. Yes.
Because
I
he was so like free and joyful in
yes.
Beijing, and now he's so serious. And
Mhm.
his step sequences are still, I mean, they're just world class. And
Yes.
that little body has so much heart and emotion. And I mean, I'm just like, yes, yes, yes. And then those falls just
Oh, and it just seems like they just keep like a fall and a fall. It's not just, and it's rough. It's so rough to watch, and it's I'm always struggle because I'm like where I'm a psychologist. I don't want to like talk about like someone else's psych because I don't want to come off like I'm like diagnosing or anything. But just from stuff they've said in interviews, you can tell that he's been having some issues with his nerves when it comes to skating. I think he's been comparing himself a lot to Ilia, and I think anytime his scores can be close to Ilia. But yeah, I wish there was some like Hitchuma back so
mhm,
that maybe he could be the top dog also
mhm.
and just kind of take the pressure off because I think he's really struggling with this.
Yeah. And I wish if he has to compare himself to Yuma, I mean to Ilya, do, but feel good about that comparison because
Yes.
you are amazing. Like,
Yes. Like you were able to score fairly close to someone who has 7 million jumps, like of pods.
yeah,
And if
Yep.
and if Ilia makes a mistake, that's when you can put your like that's when you get your foot in.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
it's so rough because he's such a beautiful skater. And it's so good to see him even like in the Kiss and Cry still wasn't probably having as much fun as everybody else, but there were still times where he let loose. And I was like, okay, good. It's good to see him like that.
Yeah. Even his dad cracked a smile until the score came out. His
Yeah.
dad was smiling.
Yeah.
Um, what about, who I have not connected with? I understand that he's really good, but Shun Sato, I don't.
I struggle with that as well. I find him to be a very beautiful skater. There's just something that doesn't like branch out, like something that doesn't just speak to me. And I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Even when I saw him live, I'm like, this is a beautiful skater, but I just didn't connect a lot. And I don't know what it is. Like I've tried to watch several times. So I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's maybe like the performance piece, like something's missing to where it's not connecting with the audience because I've heard that from several other people.
Okay.
I just don't know what it is.
The
I'm trying to figure it out.
programs, I mean, call Shaylin or something, right? Like, I think he needs something a little more dynamic.
Yes.
Like Caravan for Nathan was such a jazzy, happy
Yeah.
program.
I think
Something,
that's it. Like I feel like if he so it seems like he likes the slower songs, more kind of weepy music. But like if he had, like you said, something more dynamic to balance it out,
yeah,
then that would just be a game changer. I think it is kind of the slow songs make it difficult to really fully connect.
yeah. I think Ladies in Lavender should be banned from life
It just keeps
anyway.
happening. I'm like, here we go again. And it can be tiring. Like,
Yeah. Who did somebody skated to Spiegel im Spiegel? Oh, that was Jason. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
yes.
That was beautiful. I mean,
Oh,
that is an example of like slow music where the
yes.
tension is held every second.
And you could tell stuff was like set to like hit on the beat, like
Yep.
with the music,
Yes.
it was a certain way. He would do so. That's when it's effective. Like if you're going to do like a slow song or a war horse, make it effective.
Exactly. Exactly. So I'm excited to see what Shun has for the Olympic season. And I hope it's
Yes.
something,
More,
jazzy.
just more jet, like something, like to get him out of his comfort shell. And I know he was sick during it, but like I've seen him several times though, and it just kind of seems flat, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah. So talk about Ilya. You're a big Ilya fan, right?
I like Ilia a lot. Like I think just because like I like the short program, he's come a long way. And I'm someone that if I like remove myself from the free program and think about like, hey, this is like an interesting feat of doing all these jumps. Like I don't like the free program as much as a short program.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think the short program, there's way more kind of character in it. I even like that he does a little rap thing. Like I think that's cool.
Yeah.
The free program feels like I'm going to do as many jumps as possible. Then I'm going to let loose.
Yeah.
And when it's not done effective, like if he's not hitting all the jumps, that's when the program doesn't hit for me. Like the programs tend to hit for me with the free program. If I'm like, well, at least I know this is like a jump drill, but it's still cool. Like you still hit it all up.
Yeah.
I do like his short program a whole lot better. I think he gets the audience kind of more involved, like when he does it, especially when he does it in a buyer. Like that is
Yeah.
so like that's really good, and like he can hold that really well. And
That surprises me every time.
yeah, every
Yeah.
time I'm like, oh, and it seems to be getting better,
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
whole lot better.
Yeah. Definitely like the short program more.
Yes.
It's crazy too. Like you can't count the rotations. He's just like this vibrating needle in
Uh-huh.
the air.
It's so
Like
fast.
if you told me it was a quint, I'd believe you.
I'm like, there
And
you go. Yeah.
he might do it. I think for the free program, that music is very much like, your son slammed his bedroom door and he's in there playing it super loud, throwing his socks around. Like
Yeah.
it's very teen tantrum. So, but I feel like he gets a little bit of his emotions out through it
He
too.
does. Like I feel like once you get past most of the jumps, he then like lets loose, and that's when I think it becomes effective for people who may not like much skating. Like some of my interns had stumbled upon it because they like the music and when he gets at the end, where he's like, "Ah," and then starts like doing the raspberry twist and the backflip. That's when people get into it.
Yeah.
This was kind of comical, and it made me amused because he was just like, knowing he was not doing that well, and he did not beat himself up. He actually just laughed it off, and that made
He
me
did.
laugh.
I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, when you are head and shoulders above everybody else, you better have a
Yes.
sense of humor. Like,
Yes.
it would be really off-putting if he had a little tantrum while being, 40
Right.
points ahead.
Right. Like in this, he just like LOL. Like even when he did, I think it was like a slide or something, and he just really failed at it. And he just shook his head.
Yeah.
That was uncharacteristic of him, but I mean, I'm always like, what did they all do in Japan the night before this competition?
Oh, good
They were
question.
all so tired. And I get it's the end of the season, but I'm like, did they like all go on a journey? And I know that they were also doing Stars on Ice. Like most of them were
Oh,
doing Stars on
really?
Ice Japan. Like I know
Oh.
Ilia was, I think most of Team Japan and most of the US team, most of them I think were. So
Oh.
that might be why, like, by the time they got to this, bam. And then I know also like they were in like the boxes cheering on their teammates the whole time. And I know Amber had mentioned like something about that being exhausting for her, which I could see that like being in a rink for hours in itself can be exhausting. So
Mm-hmm.
adding
Mm-hmm.
that on with the team spirit, I can just imagine that would be fatiguing.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, there's not even a question about the Olympics as long as he stays
Exactly.
healthy. Like, go get that gold, Ilya.
You go get that gold, and it's probably going to help Team USA get the team medal gold.
Yep. Yep. No notes. Is that all the men?
I think that's all the men. Yeah. And then pairs. We'll just go to pairs.
Pairs. So,
Pairs.
and there were like only six. Were there only six?
Yes, it's interesting. So pairs, I kept thinking like, am I? Because I turned it on. That's when I had to keep catching up on because I swear. So it seems like when I turned on the pairs, chaos would happen with my animals. Like just so much, and I'd be like, oh, am I like missing? I'm not missing that many, but yeah, pairs. I knew the Japanese, I knew like Riku and Reichi, I knew they were gonna like slay. Oh my God, they're so amazing.
That short program is so fun. I love
I
it.
love it. Like I actually made my husband watch. I'm like, you've got to see this. You've got to see how fast they are. And then they're
Yep.
talking at one point. I'm like, no, you're almost to the good part when they do like this at the end.
Yeah. Sometimes, like, as she's, skating along, her hair is like plastered to her head because it's just wind. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They're so fast. I saw it in the subs earlier that because I always think of the US couple, Elisa and Misha. She's so small and sort of childlike. It reminds me of Katya Gordieva,
Yes. Yes.
right?
Yes.
But somebody said that Riku's costume, when they had costumes on display, hers was on a child mannequin because
Yes.
she's so tiny.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes, I noticed that at Worlds. And it's interesting, like if you see them when they're not skating, you get to see like I'm always surprised by how short she is because he has to
Yeah.
lift her up. I think because she commands such a presence on the ice, and not that
Mm-hmm.
Elisa doesn't like it's just a dynamic of their
Yeah.
speeds and power. It almost makes you forget the height.
Yeah. I wish we could have had KMT commentating. She was so great at Worlds.
I went back and watched it, and I was because like I feel like I learned a lot because there's
Mhm.
times where I'm like, wait, why? Especially the death spiral that I'd like to like brush up on more, just like why some points because sometimes the uglier death spirals get more points because I think they're more
Yeah.
difficult,
Yeah.
and so I really liked her insight there.
Yeah. Yeah. Super helpful.
Yeah.
Okay, so the pairs. Who I can't
Sorry, my
remember.
notes are like I'm trying to get the ISU's website to not crash on me.
I felt bad for the French pair. They were just sort of outclassed here.
Yeah, they were the. I was surprised. I don't feel like I've seen them that much.
Yeah, I've definitely seen them, but not a lot.
Not a lot. And I was trying to remember the last time I saw them, and I can't remember if they were at Worlds, but they compared
I
to
think they
everyone
were at the
else.
Grand Prix.
They probably at the Grand Prix. So I'm trying to get my notes on. I get protocols to load up, and it just the ISU's website. It's like you are not doing this. We just hit. Come on, yeah, my ISU's website's not letting me look at protocols. Oh no. Okay, I guess they're not gonna let me open protocol. ISU website. We're just complaining about you. Oh, here we go. Oh yeah, they had some like a lot of calls and they had some falls.
Yeah.
'Cause I was trying to remember them in comparison to the others.
Yeah. They did a bond program, which I love. So he had a little holster
Yes,
thing.
now it's
She had a
clicking
red
with me.
dress.
Yes,
Yeah.
I like when they do like fun ones like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're never going to top Una Kim's bond program,
Nobody
but
can. Nobody can. Nobody can. And
um, and then the Italians, Sarah and Nico,
oh yeah, they're fascinating to me.
they're so good.
They're so good and like they're exes, and somehow they still skate without wanting to like murder each other. Like it is, I feel like they are a surprise, like dark horse around the corner. Like I feel like they're at
Totally.
podium. Like they may at
Totally.
podium at the Olympics.
If I were his girlfriend, I'd be like, you guys are going to get back together, huh? Like if you guys podium at the Olympics, you're getting married.
And sometimes they're like body language with one another. I'm like, y'all still
Yeah.
may like each other.
Yeah. Yeah. She's terrifying. Like, I would never get on her bad side, but I just love how she celebrates every landing. Like, not just the Carmen, like, clap, but even in the long program,
Yes,
like, I
even in
saw
the
her, like,
quiet program, she's like, yeah.
yeah, she's incredible. And she looks great in a bodysuit. And he's very handsome. And they're just
Yes.
so
It's
dynamic.
just so dark. And it's interesting because I sometimes bodysuits just sometimes it's not pulled off well. In it, both men and women, and
Yep.
both their outfits they pull it off.
They do. They do. And they made Yentl, watchable for me. So,
Yes. Like usually I
yeah.
don't like the Papa Can You Hear Me? And still sometimes makes, but they still like made it enjoyable.
Yeah. Yeah. But the Carmen program is just out of this world. I
It
love it.
is so good. And I feel like they did it really well here. This is one of those times where you take them out of, I don't want to say a serious competition, but at the end of the year,
Yeah.
team event, and like you could tell that they were much like on for this.
Yep. Oh, I can't wait to see what they do next year.
I know. Oh, I hope they do a different free program. Like I hope it'd be interesting to see what they pull off.
Yeah.
I really feel like they're gonna like surprise people, but not surprise everyone, and just get on the podium at
Yeah.
the Olympics.
Me
Especially in
too.
Italy and Italian Olympics. Like,
Oh, yeah. Oh my God. That's going to be amazing for them.
yes. And I love their reactions to when they win. Like they are skaters like that have the best reactions. Like it's still real exciting and amazing for them to get a bronze. Like they're not upset to just get a
Right.
bronze. Like
Right.
they have such genuine reactions. And it's always like I always will tune in when they're like getting their scores when I know it's gonna go well.
Yeah. 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 No, they're awesome. Honestly, last year, I would have said that Deanna Stellato would be the one, that they were going to be at the top. And it's been hard to watch.
It's been so hard to watch. And I know they've had some difficulties. Like I know he got really sick, but it's just like they never bounce back. And
Yeah.
they would always say, like, we're doing fine in practices. But even at this event, I know not everyone skated this event perfect, but even at this event, they struggled a bit. And I was just thought maybe this would be the one where they are like either have a redemption or they let loose a
Hmm.
bit. But even it's like these programs just did not work for them. Like I even liked water a bit, but it didn't really work for
Mm.
them.
Yeah. I wasn't fully sold on like the bubbles and the waves, and I mean
Yeah.
it's beautiful, and she is incredible. But
Yes.
yeah, these programs, I'm like, donnez-moi oxygen. I want that oxygen program back.
Yes, like they did amazing with that. Just everything. Like I remember their jumps were right on like when the music changed and this like it was just such a exhausting song. Like the
Yes.
Beyonce version they did not
Oh,
win them any favors. And I get they wanted to do something because they're going to be at Boston Worlds, but it just fell so flat.
I everybody kept saying that, and I'm like, is Beyonce from Boston? Like, I don't what
I don't know if I was trying to figure it out too. Like I get that
it's American?
it's American, but there's so many other American things
Yeah,
too. And I
yeah,
feel like you shouldn't pick a song because you want to be able to skate a song you're going to connect with. And that song I never felt like they connected with at
no,
all.
no.
Like at
What
all.
I will say though is it she doesn't seem as scary. Like she seems more relaxed.
Yes.
Like I'm not worried that she's gonna go back and like beat him up late, you know, like she's accepting that, you know, they know it's next year that counts.
Yeah, she even said that in an interview. Like they're ready to retire these programs. I think she even acknowledged these programs were not a hit for her. And I'm like, that's kind
Oh,
of
she
big.
did.
Yeah, I think it was the last Golden Skate interview. They were said this programs were just a miss for them. And it really was. And so I think it's good that she acknowledges that because sometimes skaters don't acknowledge it. You can see they just kind of make the same mistakes again, but she
Yeah,
acknowledges these didn't
good.
work out at all.
I know we'll get there later, but I swear when Charlene and Marco finished their robot dance, I could see on her face, like, I will never have to perform this again.
Yes. And I was almost relieved that she had that expression. I'm like, okay, recognized.
Oh, can you imagine if they doubled down and just had new robot costumes next year?
Oh my God. I would be like, you people need to move on. You're not going to change our minds. They tried.
No, they definitely know, I think. Um, Speaking of costume changes, the Georgians, am I making this up? Or earlier in the season, did they have like exercise
Yeah,
leotards?
so they had a whole different program at
Oh,
Worlds.
okay.
At Worlds, I didn't realize. I guess it happened at Europeans, and I don't know how I blanked out on that. And then at Worlds, I'm like, "Where's this weird exercise program? Like, where's?"
Yeah.
And someone's like, "Oh, they're doing a whole nother program now." I'm like, "What?"
Oh, so they changed the music too?
Yeah, and
Oh,
I'm not sure why. Because I didn't like the whole exercise out, but like I felt like they were kind of dynamic with it. Like it really
yeah,
suited them. And so I'm
yeah.
surprised they just switched to this. I don't know why they switched to it. Like it's okay, but like it's not that memorable to be honest.
Yeah. I have like a bias, I think, against him, just, you know, for like the stuff with the former partner, et cetera. But, you know, they're undeniably strong.
Yes,
They really are.
they are. And I'm just wondering how they're going to shake out. Like there's times where I think they're going to podium. They're not as consistent lately.
Hmm.
At Worlds, they made a little bit of mistakes. But there for a while, I'm like, these people, of course, they did go to junior worlds, which is interesting. And
Yes.
worlds
Yes.
kind of close
Very
to one
interesting.
another. I just thought that was weird. And it is just when they're like junior worlds, I'm like, here's a we're junior world champions.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, their twist is huge. Have you ever heard KMT talk about her own kind of struggles with the twist?
No, no.
So like, you know, she skated with Dylan, then she paired up with Michael and they were doing really well. And then I think it was like maybe 2021. I don't know, don't quote me on this.
Yeah,
At
yeah.
some point they started to just have a really rocky time. And I heard her on a podcast say that one day she just stopped believing that a twist was something that is physically possible. She was like, it just
Oh,
stopped making sense. And she was like she would pull over on the side of the road having a panic attack, like thinking about
oh
a
my
twist.
gosh.
Yeah. And I think she got some professional help with that and stuff, but they had to really rework their twist. And you can see it in like 2022 that it's rough for them. And it just made me think like, yeah, that is a crazy element. Like that, how does that work? And how do you like if it's not going well, how do you get out of it safely?
It's true.
Um, It's horrifying. So the Georgian twist is like, she's practically in the rafters. I don't know how they do
It's
it.
so high in the air. And then that is like interesting to think about because if it's going wrong, does the
Yep.
like, they always have to like catch anyway? Like, how does that work? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't pairs. I have so much respect for both the men and the women, but the courage and the strength,
Oh,
it's insane.
yes, because like I've listened to a podcaster once and they had someone on there that did pairs from Russia and they were talking about how like it's a women's fault if they don't land the throws, but I feel like it would have to be two people because if the man does the like throw any different, like too rough, like too much strength in it. And so I was surprised to hear that because I feel like it would have to be a two-person thing. So I'm surprised that anybody would say, "Oh nope, the woman is her fault." Like, it
Yeah.
doesn't make sense to
Well,
me.
I think I might have listened to the same thing because I think, or a similar one where they also said that they blame the women for the throw and the man for the lift.
Oh,
Really, obviously the man can mess up a throw and the woman can mess up a lift.
yeah.
But when I first started watching, I really thought they were throwing these women, but now I understand it's in more of like an assisted jump.
Yes.
So, he's not
Yeah, they're
actually,
just gonna boom.
yeah, that doesn't make any sense. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they do it. And just imagine those landings, like how hard that must be on your
Oh my
leg.
gosh.
And
And
they go down into the knee and then they're just like, oh,
to think about how Ellie, like Danny threw Ellie whenever he had like a broken foot and she managed to do it. Like that's just wild to think about like at Worlds. Oh,
yeah.
yeah. The
Yeah.
Georgians do have really good amazing throws and really
Yep.
amazing twists. And that is their strength, I feel
Yep.
like.
Yep. Those big elements.
Yes.
And that's exciting, like for an audience. I mean,
I think that's why I always tell people like if you've never watched skating or you're bringing someone that's never watched skating, take them to like pairs or ice
yep.
dance. Because I noticed like whenever I took my husband to Montreal, he loved watching the pairs, loved watching ice
Yeah.
dance. He got bored during the single skaters. So I'm like, what? No, you gotta watch. And he was just like, you could see the dead in his eyes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how I was at first.
Yeah.
Yeah, something about just seeing two people skating in unison and
Yes.
cool things they can do. Yeah.
Yes. Ah,
Okay, who we talked about Deanna. Did we talk about Elisa and
we
Misha?
didn't talk about Lisa and me. No, they didn't do a strong here, but I
Yeah.
think it's just part of that like end of the season video. Like there was nothing that made me worried to think, oh my gosh, they're gonna like fail the
No.
Olympic season. And they've had such a rough season. I'm intrigued to see if she ends up getting US citizenship. I worry it's not gonna be in
Yeah.
time at all,
Yeah.
especially the way things are going on. I just don't feel like it's
Right.
easy for her to get it, which is unfortunate because I feel like they could also be a medal contender if they were
Because that's probably where the US is weakest, right? Is in
yes,
pairs.
so much
So we could
pairs.
certainly use them. Um,
And they are gorgeous and like them together. I feel like just a few more years are going to be. I can't believe they've
yeah.
only been skating. Like I looked it up. I can't remember now. It hasn't been that long and they gel
Yeah.
so well
So well. So
together.
well. I mean, so it's basically Danny and Ellie. They're
Yeah. And they're inconsistent. I think they're getting a lot better. And you can tell that like they've been working on the throws so much and
yeah.
their lifts are amazing and they're just
Yes.
their whole dynamic. And even though there's like a huge age difference, I think even like they've been able to get past that the way that looks
Yeah.
nice. Like I
Yeah.
think once he gets his foot to where he can skate again, as long as they like work on throws some more and just kind of building up confidence in it,
Yeah.
I can tell like they've changed the way they transition into the throws. It feels like there's a lot of things they've done to make it work better. And she has landed them. But she used to be a single skater. I always tell myself, like, she was a single skater and then became a pair skater. And that is huge.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Danny could skate well with just about anybody. He's so
So amazing,
wonderful.
amazing, and he's just also a genuinely like decent human.
He is. He is. I saw him once. He was running by me at the Colorado airport, at the Denver airport,
Yeah.
and like in the parking lot. And I was like, "Is that Danny O'Shea?" And he like stopped and like waved, and then he kept running. And then later, like a year later, I met him at a show, and I said, "Hey, I yelled at you in the airport," and he's like, "I remember." He's like, "I'd forgotten my passport. My mom brought it." He's like, "You yelled," and I called my girlfriend and said, "Somebody recognized me in the airport." And I was like, "Oh,
Oh, it's precious.
he's so sweet." Um, but yeah, their steps, like they almost look like they're doing ice dance. You know, they're so
Yeah,
beautiful together.
especially in their short program's so dynamic, and that step sequence, it is
Oh,
so on point, and just with the music, and you're right, like they're also so close to one another. Like they really do feel close to kind of like like they could
yeah.
transition ice dance if they wanted to.
Yep. Yep. Oh, I love them. So,
Um,
and I was super excited when I saw Balaj and Audrey. I know they had a rough go last time, but their debut was insane.
it's insane. Like I was really optimistic for them when I saw them at nationals because
Hmm.
like I forget who is the other American skater, Gabby Izzo. When
Oh
she
yeah.
transitioned to pairs, it didn't look as natural at all as compared to Audrey. Like that just looked very natural. It was
Yeah.
surprising. Like I think more time they're going to be amazing as well. Like they'll
I
be
do too.
one of the
I'm
US
excited.
teams
I'm
because
excited.
they already look natural, and it's wild to me.
Yeah. And it doesn't, I mean, Chan Hao, I always see people saying that it looks like they hate each other, and it really kind of does.
It does. And then even during like the medal ceremony, I think they got the pewter right at the nationals. They were
I
skating
think,
with one another, and it was just they were away from each other. It was
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. He's
Yeah, and
so
I
cute
don't
though.
know if like they've had like drama with all the injuries. It doesn't, they don't seem natural with one
No.
another. And I honestly don't know how much we can rely on them to be the other pairs team, but I know that three likely will have three spots for pairs. And I'm just being like, who do we
Yikes.
send?
Yikes.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay, so we talked about Georgia, US. We talked about Deanna. Did we talk about every pair? We did.
Yeah. So it's an ice dance. Wow.
Yay.
Yeah.
Can I just want to say something about ice dance. I cannot believe I'm saying this, but I'm kind of obsessed with Diana Davis and Gleb Smolkin.
You know what's interesting is I liked them too, especially their
Their
free
free
free dance.
program.
Oh,
Oh my God. It's
I
gorgeous.
I think that they have honestly made a lot of strides, especially this year. I feel like if she were to just work a little bit on her skating skills, I think she just looks different compared to him because he's so good.
He's so good.
So good. And like when I saw them in person, I'm like, ooh, he is very just smooth and a knee bend and the edge quality. So I think if she just kind of keeps working on that, but I can see why they're getting a lot of the scores they do, especially the free dance. The free dance is chock full of so many lifts and turns, and it is just really neat to watch. And I know like a lot of people
So
don't like
effective.
them, but I like them.
Yeah. I mean, hey, you can't choose your parents. And
Yes,
she you can tell she has put in the work.
so much
Uh,
work.
she's not just floating on her name.
Not at
She's
all.
working. And
You
those
can
those
tell they are.
costumes are beautiful. He's
Yes,
not just in black pants, like he also has the
yes,
sassy bodysuit.
yes,
The
yes,
music, it's just so effective. The timing,
yes.
I'm obsessed. And the slow-mo, when you watch like their facial expressions, they are connected. He
Yeah, they
like
don't make the
enjoys
faces look.
her. Yeah.
Yes. No, I liked him too, and it's definitely like I really struggled with all rhythm dances this season. And so I like the rhythm dance too, but their free dance, oh my gosh. Like the first time I watched, I was stunned. I was like, this is a very physically demanding program. And they
Yeah.
did it. And a lot of times people will say, like, he's carrying her across the ice. And I've tried to watch for that, and I honestly don't see it.
I see that more with Maddie and Evan, if I'm being honest.
Really?
Yeah. Like, in fact, I was noticing in their free, well, we'll get to them, but yeah, I see that more with Maddie and Evan. But I mean, who cares? Like, he's pulling her around the ice beautifully, and she is
Mhm.
in the most exquisite position. Um, but yeah, they were Diana and Gleb. He has, I keep going back to these dramatic hands, but he really does.
Yes. Yes. Very effective hands.
Um, the young Japanese dance pair, and they fell. I felt so bad.
I felt so bad. It's their home country. A lot of people don't think about Japanese ice dance.
Exactly.
And in fact, I had to I had to rewatch our program just kind of remember it. And I read somewhere that like ice dance Japan does not get as much
Like funding.
funding. I don't know if that's true or not. I have no idea, but it really is a field. I know the pairs field in Japan, they had to kind of build up. I remember one year there was just like Riku and Riichi for nationals. And so like ice dance needs like built up. I mean, they could
Yeah.
be a force to be right. Like Team Japan could get a gold Olympic team medal if they had like every discipline stacked.
Yeah. Yeah. Korea too. Do they? Oh, they have Hannah Lim.
Yes,
She is a
yes. I feel like they
star.
came out of nowhere a bit too. Like that's the problem with ice dance. Sometimes it feels like people come out of nowhere. It's like, no, they've been here forever. It's just now they're getting
Yeah.
different scores.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But yeah, I love that young Japanese pair. I thought they were adorable. Their twizzles were a little slow, but that Romeo and Juliet free dance, like they did a good job,
They
and they
did.
give space.
They did. And like you said, yeah, their twizzles were slow, but they were still, in sync with one another.
Yep.
And so
Yeah.
I think just more time and more time just working on things. I just hope that like that gets revamped a bit in Japan.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. How about the French?
It's interesting. I wonder, and it's just my tinfoil hat. It's interesting that they didn't score as high here as they've done in other events.
Oh, they didn't.
No, in fact, everyone was surprised that Davis and Gleb got ahead of them in the free dance because
Mm.
usually they would be the one that you'd think would be like in that kind of fourth.
Yep. Did they
And
mess up?
I nothing that was obvious. They may have gotten some levels down. There are some concerns that maybe the French Federation is opening it up for
Guillaume.
yep. But I
And
don't know. Like I don't know if that's like what's really truly going on here. If that's like a tinfoil hat. Like it's just curious, but also I feel like they've gotten some levels called other than these past competitions.
huh. Huh.
Yeah, they
Yeah, I
didn't get
thought they lost maybe a level or two in the step sequence in the free
yes.
program.
And I want to go back and watch because it wasn't obvious
Yeah.
to me. Oh, whoops, hold on. Is it this still record? Okay, sorry. My computer made this weird but it's still recording. But yeah,
Oh my
they
God. Would you die if it
I would
hadn't been
die.
recording?
But they lost some levels, but it's one of those things where like I want to go back and watch because it wasn't obvious the first like I went back and like rewound, but it wasn't as obvious to me. I think
Yeah.
like usually when you see like their scores being lower, it's something that seems to be quite obvious. Now at Worlds, they seemed a little bit less energized.
Hmm.
The
Okay.
programs felt, I think, because there was just maybe some nerves, like the programs didn't gel as well. But here, honestly, I was like, oh, yeah, they're back to them. Like
Yeah.
they're back to that energy. And so I was expecting the scores to match, and it didn't really feel like it did. But I
These are
also,
two good programs. So
yeah,
it makes me wonder what they'll do next year because I can't really picture them doing like lyrical, you know,
never. I can never like. I feel like they have found their like niche, and they're like, and if they go and deviate from that, especially Olympic year, that's not going to go well for them.
Yeah, right. You know who I miss, speaking of niche, was Allison and Solius from
Oh,
Lithuania.
I am so upset that I really only got to see that unique free dance like twice.
Oh, really? I love it.
That is so cool. And like on Ice Perspectives had posted. I'm like, yeah.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
I feel like they have found their footing as well. And so I feel bad that we didn't get to, of course, we never get to see them basically. This week, they didn't get to see that at Worlds either. But like, yeah,
That bummed
so
me out
unique.
so much. That must have been heartbreaking not to get into the free, but and he's also very nice to look at. So I enjoy the
Yes.
programs.
Yeah. And it makes me laugh because like people will be commenting on that on like Reddit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And she's, I mean, I love her. And I always love their music choices. Like I think they did Guns N' Roses, they've done Rod
Yeah.
Stewart.
They
I'm
picked
like,
things a little outside the box. Yeah.
yeah. But anyway, yeah. So the French, it'll be interesting to see what they do. Their free program has one moment where he like puts his hand on her forehead and like pushes it.
Yes. And I feel like I actually noticed it more like this time around.
Yeah,
Did the camera
yeah,
get ready for this?
yeah. I hate when somebody touches my face. Like it grosses me out to have someone's dirty hand on my face. So I was
That you
like,
would not appreciate. You'd be like, nope.
no, we need to re-choreograph that. Um, and then, oh, okay. So now we're down to the top three.
Wow, there really wasn't a whole lot. Yeah. So
The Italians.
this year was just not a year for the programs. And you can tell they attempted it here. Like they put on their best.
Yeah. Yeah.
Their twizzles were a lot better here than they were at Worlds. Especially like Marco's at Worlds were just way off. Like here,
Yeah.
they were better for the short, not the short, but the rhythm dance.
Yeah. Yeah. I like those pants, those like capris with the little belly cutout. I know I'm crazy, but I love those pants. And I didn't hate the robot bodysuits, you know, for what they were. But I don't know. I love them. I feel bad that they keep getting hosed. I was devastated that they didn't get on the podium at Worlds and they lost to Fear Gibson.
I'm surprised by that. I get like maybe they were trying to send a message about the pro. I was surprised, to be honest, about especially I felt like Worlds there was a lot of like the vibe in the arena really helped, but I didn't think it was going to help to like that extent. But I guess like when I was there, for some reason, like it was almost like dead in the arena when the robot program.
Oh
But when I
no.
saw it in person, it wasn't as bad. I think it was just kind of like an energy zapper after you had like all these like, come on, come dance with us type of programs. And then you had the robot.
Yeah. Oh, what a shame.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this means that probably for the Olympic year, they're going to have something amazing, I hope.
I feel like they're going to come back from this because they are very fast in person, very synchronized, very, very synchronized. In fact, I was paying attention to the robot program here and it was very synchronized. And they really do put on the performance. Like, even though they know everyone hates this, well, not a lot of people dislike this, they still put on a performance of it. And it was like their last robot.
And I was so glad. I was like, yes, like, you know, you can't sit there and be embarrassed of your own program.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, and they did it full out, but you could see at the end that they were probably like,
thank goodness, no more.
Yeah. Is he as tall as she is?
I think he almost looks shorter, and I don't know if it's because she like commands a presence. I was trying to figure that out. It feels like she's taller.
Yeah.
But they do.
You know, I feel completely ripped off that we did not get to see Hawaii and Baker compete with those programs this year.
Yes. Oh. I'm sad because I feel like they were just like building up momentum and the concussions happened. And she talked about like some mental health concerns as well. I didn't expect them to retire. And it's just like, oh,
I thought it was their turn.
yes, like they were building up the momentum and then,
And that rhythm dance, I mean, all the complaining I've done about the rhythm dances this year, the U2 one was ridiculous. It was so beautiful.
yes, they found a way to make it really beautiful. I feel like they would have made programs just so beautiful this year. Oh, and they're just such good skaters. And it was like the same height, if I remember right. Like,
yeah.
Just so good.
And I saw someone commenting on those programs saying that like they had kind of flipped some of the traditional. So like this is like stuff I can't see, but like she's leading in some of the.
I need to watch it again then.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so good. So good. Yeah, I miss them. But he's another little guy. So their lifts were, somewhat limited.
That's true. But honestly, I feel like they worked around it.
Yeah.
Like they really did work around. And he seems like a phenomenal like human. Like hearing him go through and do like commentary, like he does a really nice job of like saying here's something they can work on, but here's something like it's never snarky. And he's great.
Yeah. And he's an incredible, like probably one of the best actual skaters.
He is. I was surprised when I rewatched him recently. I'm like, oh man, like why didn't they get like higher scores? Like they're really good. He's so good.
Yeah. And I always thought like, okay, he's like a skater, and he's got some swag. And okay, you're dating Olivia Smart. You have lots of swag.
Oh my God. That was like the most amazing announcement on like, I'm like, I'm like, and like, they're like personalities that are so funny. Yeah. Like you could just see they like feed off one another. Like they're fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. How about, okay, I know I've already bemoaned the lack of Le Joie Le Gars. I'm obsessed with them.
I love them. I don't understand why Canada doesn't prop them up more. Like, I don't understand. I'm not quite sure. Canada seems to do this thing where it's like they have skaters that are good and they will only select certain skaters to just keep pushing and sending to events. And like Meline Skizes is always going to be the one that gets sent to events. Roman's going to be always the one that gets sent to events. And
Trent and Leah.
Yeah, and always getting sent. And it's just like nobody else gets the opportunity. So they compete less. So then when they go and do actual other competitions, they may not do as well because they're not getting all this experience. And I know at least like La La, as her nickname, gets sent to other places, but their scores are always surprising. And I just get fired up sometimes.
Yeah, because they are so good. Like I never seen her. Good. She's another one. Like I usually watch their programs twice because I have to watch once only looking at her and then once only looking at him because I can't even take it all in. He's so intense and just perfect. And then her arm, I always go nuts over the arms and hands.
The arm position, the carriage, everything of her.
Yeah. So beautiful.
So beautiful.
Ice dance is funny too because they, performance counts so much. So you always see the women's facial expressions. I always feel like I get distracted thinking of like what it looks like they're saying. Like Madison Chalk, it always looks like she's going, pah, pah.
Saying something. Yes.
Yeah. And then Piper's like, whoa. And Marjorie's like, yup.
You are correct. Now I can piece what they're saying. Because with Piper, what is she doing?
Yeah, she's going.
Unfortunately, I ran out of space on my computer and suddenly it crashed and the backup did not include the audio. So I promise y'all there was nothing shady at this point. We were talking about Piper and Paul, how much she adored their programs, and I loved their rhythm dance. And we were talking about Chalk and Bates, how classy the free dance was, and how we're excited for ice dance next year. So I apologize at the end. Epic failed on us. See y'all next time.